What's up, wrestling fans? My name's Doug, and this is the Two Bros Wrestling Show. Kevin's not with us tonight. He's taking some much-deserved time off. I'm just returning from family holiday, and so you got me tonight, but no fears, I am not alone. Brought in a special guest to help me cover this preview of AEW's Full Gear, so we're just going to jump right into things. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we're going to get right to it. Let's go.
Hello, I will be filling in for Kevin today. You may call me Mark. Before we discuss the card, let's discuss what has got us here. AEW's year-end pay-per-view, Full Gear, is rapidly approaching. This is the first big pay-per-view to take place since All Out, or more precisely, the mayhem that followed. Full Gear will be AEW's finest opportunity to prove itself to the world, as the four wrestlers that left that event as World and Trios champions are still MIA. Full Gear will be held on November 19, marking a return to Saturdays for AEW's pay-per-views. Doug, where do we start?
Thanks, Mark. Tell you what, I say we go unconventional tonight, and let's just start with the main event and work our way down, or at least what I'm thinking is going to be the main event. You on board with me?
Sounds good. Before the chaos of All Out, MJF had returned to AEW and won the Casino Ladder match, giving him the opportunity to challenge for the world title anytime he wanted. It's almost as if MJF's comeback was predicated on a rematch with Punk, in which the Devil himself would have defeated his old idol and claimed the championship for himself. This, coupled with the fact that Moxley postponed vacation time so he could defend his championship for a third time, makes MJF's victory look all but certain. Doug, what are your thoughts on what will undoubtedly be the main event?
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. This is going to be the main event, and I think Mox is not going to go over. Mox is going to do what he does for this company, which is what's best for business, and at this point, MJF is best for business. It's going to be a great match, though, and sounds like we're in lockstep on this one, kind of like Kevin and I. What's next, Mark?
Feels like a long time coming that Jamie Hayter finally gets her opportunity to win the AEW Women's Championship. It's only a temporary title, but given the circumstances, it'll have to do. It would be interesting if Thunder Rosa came back and faced Hayter instead of Toni Storm, but alas, I doubt that will happen. Doug, how are you calling this one?
Okay, so here come the dad jokes from my side. I'm not a hater of Jamie Hayter. I just don't think it's her time. I think that we're going to see Toni Storm Thunder Rosa in the future, and it would be great if she showed back up, but that's not happening. That's not in the cards yet. I'm agreeing with you. That's not happening, but I don't think Jamie Hayter's going over. I think Toni Storm stays with this one. Let's talk about the tag team match, Mark.
In 2022, two unexpected teams will define AEW's tag division. This will be the third and likely last time the two couples face off for the gold. This time, at least. Really, only one side can come out on top here. The Acclaimed. Even though they're up against a temporary squad that's turned out to be really amazing, they're still solid fan favorites, and their calf phrase is so popular that it's earning AEW money. Doug, can you really disagree with me on this one?
I can't really disagree with you. However, I find it hilarious that you call them a couple, and the tag team's a couple and a squad in Keith Lee and Swerve. But I think it's great. I think we're going to get great interaction here, and it's going to be a really intense match. But in the end, I cannot disagree with you, man. This is going to be the Acclaimed. Is it a dream? Am I dreaming? Is former WWE Paige, now known by her actual name, Soraya, is she competing at the next event? Is this a fever dream? What's happening?
It's not a dream, it is occurring. It has been over 5 years since Soraya last competed, but she has been given the green light to return to the ring for a bout against Britt Baker at Full Gear. Given that she has been advised against wrestling more often than once a month, this might be the last bout we see Soraya in all year. This contest has a painfully clear victor. It may be argued that Baker would benefit from a couple victories, but it would be a huge error to let Soraya lose her comeback match after such a long absence. Doug, are you going to bet against the former Paige in her return match?
Here's the thing, Mark. I never bet against the boss, and there is no way I am betting against a return match after 5 years away. Soraya, Paige, whatever you want to call her, she is going over Britt Baker. Britt Baker's not going to lose anything losing to Paige. Sorry, Soraya. This one's going to be a banger. This one's going to be great. Can't wait to see it. So, Mark, what's up with this Chris Jericho ROH title match? Where are we there?
True to his promise, Chris Jericho has been actively defending the ROH title against previous champions ever since he first won the title. The Wizard, tired of facing opponents one by one, has decided to take on 3 adversaries at once at Full Gear. Of course, it is not strictly accurate, since we are not engaging in a handicap match. It will mostly be a free-for-all, but Jericho's pal Sammy Guevara will be competing as well. If Chris Jericho doesn't keep his title here, then Bryan Danielson seems like the most probable victor. Doug, how would you book this one?
I agree. The Wizard is going to have his little Wizard's apprentice there. Sammy, we're going to see shenanigans from Sammy to help out Jericho. There'll be a tease where they bump heads a little bit. Maybe Sammy actually ends up costing Jericho this match. I'm not really sure. That could lead to some tension in the JAS. But overall, I do see Jericho losing, and I think the most likely person, just like you, is Bryan Danielson. What do you think of this Jade Cargill match coming up with Nyla Rose?
If you believe Jade Cargill has run out of opponents, you could be correct. Although Cargill and Nyla Rose have faced each other previously, the match was in a triple threat format and took place before Cargill won the TBS title, thus AEW has some legitimate justification for not rematching them. This seems like the greatest danger to her unbeaten record so far, despite the fact that Cargill has already beaten Rose. This would be an excellent opportunity for Rose to regain her prominence. I think it's time for Cargill to drop this title and look towards AEW's Women's Championship. Where are you on this one, Doug?
Mark, you blue-haired madman, there is no way Jade Cargill is dropping a title. She is going to do her Goldberg thing and continue to go undefeated until she just drops this title, decides it's no longer worth her. It's kind of like Asuka did back in the day. She retires a champion at NXT to go on up to the main roster. We're not talking about a main roster here, but she will defeat Nyla and move on to whatever opponent is next. She's not dropping this belt. It would be interesting to see her go after the championship, and I think she will at some time, the women's championship, but she's not dropping a belt to do it. She will go undefeated and use that as her claim that she should have a shot at that women's title, whoever's holding it. What else is on this card, Mark?
At Full Gear, All Elite Jeff Jarrett will make his professional wrestling ring debut for AEW. Double J has decided to join up with Jay Lethal, the guy he supported after his defeat by Ric Flair, to take on Sting and Darby Allin. In contrast to my prediction for the Soraya match, in which I predicted victory for the debuting player, my prediction for this match is that the debuting player will likely lose. Allin needs this victory more than Jarrett and Lethal do if he is to be considered a danger again. I believe we have worked our way from top to bottom of the card. Doug, what are your thoughts on this match?
I believe we probably have worked from top to bottom of the card as we know it at the time of this recording. So this probably will be our opening match. And I think you're right, man. Darby Allin going to pull out a win, probably over Double J. I think Double J is there to be a bit of a heel, but more so off screen. I think Double J is going to be in a more production creative role anyway. So we're going to see him limited on screen, in ring, and he loses nothing by taking a pin here. Darby wins the world, probably not the world, but Darby wins a lot and gets to move forward in his career with a win here. So yeah, I think this one's pretty solid. Mark, you want to take us home, brother?
Thanks for watching the Two Bros Wrestling Show. If we missed anything, or if matches were added after this preview show was recorded, let us know your predictions in the comments. Don't forget to super kick the like button, and give that subscribe button an old school Ox Baker heart punch if you haven't already.